There's something strange that most people never notice. You'll walk through a crowded street in any major Western city, and you'll see it everywhere. People moving carefully, protecting their joints, wincing with every step. By the time they hit their 70s and 80s, mobility becomes something they negotiate with their bodies rather than something they simply do. Stairs become obstacles. Getting out of a car requires strategy. Bending down to pick something up is no longer automatic. It's a decision that requires calculating whether the pain is worth it. Now imagine something completely different. Imagine walking into a rural community in Japan and seeing 95-year-old men and women moving with a fluidity that Western people in their 50s would envy. They're walking daily. They're tending gardens. They're climbing, crouching, moving with ease. There's no stiffness. There's no negotiation with their bodies. It's not that they're superhuman or genetically blessed in some way that the rest of us aren't. It's something far more practical and far more accessible than that. What you're about to discover is that the difference between joint deterioration and joint preservation at that age isn't some mysterious genetic lottery. It's not about expensive supplements or intense exercise regimens that most people can't sustain. It's not about luck or good fortune. It's about 4 specific foods. 4, not 40. Not some complicated protocol involving dozens of ingredients. Just 4 foods that Japanese seniors have been eating for centuries. Foods that are embedded in their everyday meals so naturally that most of them don't even realize these are the very foods keeping their joints strong and their movement pain-free. This is where most conversations about joint health go wrong. Western culture has trained us to think of joint preservation as something you do in addition to your normal life. It's a supplement, a special protocol, something extra. Japanese culture approaches it completely differently. Joint preservation isn't an addition. It's the foundation of what they eat. And here's what makes this particularly relevant. The biological mechanisms behind this aren't mysterious or spiritual or philosophical. They're chemical. They're mechanical. They're about collagen and amino acids and mineral cofactors and how the human body actually repairs and maintains cartilage when it's given the right building blocks. I'm a physician who has spent decades studying longevity patterns in elderly populations, with particular focus on why some cultures maintain function and mobility while others experience rapid deterioration. The reason I'm sharing this with you is simple. Most people spend their final decades in physical compromise when they could be spending them in movement. They invest in solutions that don't address the root cause. They buy supplements that don't work the way marketing claims they do. They exercise without addressing the nutritional foundation that makes joint repair possible. And all the while, there's a clearer path, not just for preventing joint deterioration, but for actually reversing some of the damage that's already happened. What's about to unfold over the next minutes is a complete breakdown of the 4 foods that Japanese seniors eat, how each one contributes a different piece of what joints actually need, and why when you combine these 4 foods consistently, your body has everything it needs to maintain cartilage integrity, reduce inflammation, preserve mobility, and keep moving with ease well into your 90s and beyond. Stay with me through this, because by the time we finish, you'll understand not just what these foods are, but exactly how they work at the cellular level, why Western diets have systematically removed them, and how to actually incorporate them into meals you'll want to eat, not special protocols you'll abandon in 3 weeks. This isn't theory. This is what's keeping 95-year-old Japanese seniors walking pain-free while their Western counterparts are struggling with every step. Let's begin with the one thing your joints cannot do without. Before we dive into the specific science of collagen and what makes these foods work, I want to acknowledge something. You've decided to invest your time in this because somewhere inside you, you know that your joints matter. Maybe you're already feeling the first signs of what's coming. Stiffness in the morning, a slight ache after sitting too long, the beginning of that careful negotiation with your body that you've seen in older people. Or maybe you're watching this because you want to prevent that from ever being your story. Either way, you're here because you value something that most people take for granted until it's gone. The ability to move freely. The thing is, you're not alone in this. There are thousands of people watching who are on this same journey. People who refuse to accept the narrative that joint deterioration is just an inevitable part of aging. People who understand that their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s don't have to be defined by physical limitation. People who are willing to change what they eat because they've seen what happens when you don't. I want to know if you're one of them. If this is resonating with you, if you're already thinking about how these foods might fit into your own meals, drop a comment and tell me. Say, I'm ready to protect my joints, or this makes sense to me, or anything that shows you're genuinely interested in this path. Because honestly, I write these videos for people like you. People who are ready to take responsibility for their own health rather than waiting for a doctor to tell them something is already broken. And if you haven't already, hit the like button. Not because I'm asking for engagement metrics, though I am, and that helps, but because if you find this valuable, other people deserve to find it too. The algorithm doesn't naturally push health content that goes this deep into mechanism rather than hype. Pushes what people engage with. Your like is a signal that this kind of education matters. Now, let's get into the actual science. Because understanding the mechanism is what makes the difference between someone who hears about these foods and someone who actually eats them consistently for the rest of their life. Your cartilage is 70% collagen. That's the structural foundation of whether your joints work. But starting at age 50, your ability to synthesize new collagen declines while your body breaks down existing collagen faster. You're in a double trap, making less while destroying more. The result is progressive deterioration. Spaces between joints shrink, protective cushioning diminishes. Eventually bone touches bone directly, friction increases, inflammation spreads, pain becomes constant. Your body cannot manufacture collagen from nothing. Collagen requires specific amino acids, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline. But that's not enough. Your body also needs mineral cofactors, copper, iron, vitamin C, magnesium. Without these cofactors, even with amino acids present, your body cannot cross-link collagen into stable structures. The collagen produced is weak and breaks down quickly. This is why so many people fail at joint health. They take collagen supplements but lack the mineral cofactors that allow integration into joint structure. It's like building a house with excellent materials but without the right tools. The materials alone aren't enough. Japanese culture, over centuries, stumbled onto something Western science is only now validating. Japanese seniors eat 4 specific foods that together provide all amino acids needed for collagen synthesis, all mineral cofactors needed for cross-linking and stabilization, and all supporting nutrients for efficient function. They eat these foods every day passively, embedded in meals that taste good and feel normal. When your body receives consistent daily glycine and proline, it has raw material for collagen synthesis. When your diet provides adequate copper, iron, and vitamin C, your body constructs stable collagen molecules. When both increase, cartilage integrity improves, inflammation decreases, range of motion increases, pain diminishes. It's biochemistry responding as it should when given the right inputs. Western diets removed these foods. We engineered boneless chicken, separated fish fillets from skin and bones, replaced fermented foods with processed alternatives, removed seaweed entirely. Then we act surprised when joints fail. What follows reverses this logic. We examine 4 foods providing everything your joints need to repair, stabilize, and maintain themselves. You'll understand not just that these foods matter, but how they matter at the cellular level. You'll understand why Japanese seniors eat them and why you should too if you value moving freely in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. This is where the actual protocol begins. Not supplements, not special formulas, just 4 foods that have fed human joints for centuries. If there's one food representing joint health foundation, it's bone broth, called dashi in Japanese culture. It's the fundamental base of Japanese cuisine, showing up in nearly every savory meal. Consistency is what matters most. When you simmer bones, fish, chicken, kombu seaweed, for extended periods, collagen breaks down into gelatin and dissolves directly into the broth. When consumed, your digestive system recognizes and absorbs this gelatin efficiently. But brief cooking doesn't accomplish this. You need 12 to 24 hours of slow simmering to break down collagen substantially. Japanese dashi is made this way because extended extraction is the minimum time required to extract usable collagen. Fish stock simmers overnight. Chicken bone broth simmers for extended periods. It's not arbitrary. It's the dose-response relationship. This means collagen intake isn't something Japanese seniors do once weekly. It's multiple times daily, passively embedded in normal meals. Gelatin contains high concentrations of glycine and proline. the exact amino acids your body needs for collagen synthesis. A single miso soup bowl contains 2 to 3 grams of gelatin-derived amino acids. A person consuming dashi daily might receive 15 to 30 grams weekly. Over a lifetime, that's thousands of grams of collagen precursor material flowing consistently. Gelatin also contains calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. It supports gut health, which improves absorption of all nutrients consumed alongside it, including mineral cofactors we discussed. Consuming dashi-based broth consistently gives you not just collagen precursors but optimized digestive conditions for everything else supporting joint health. Western people feel intimidated by bone broth because mythology surrounds it. The reality is simple. Bone broth requires 3 things: bones, water, time. Bones cost next to nothing. Most butchers sell them inexpensively. Add water, let it simmer, leave it unattended. 12 hours later, you have broth. Use a slow cooker or instant pot. Once made, broth works for any meal. Soups are obvious, but use it as cooking liquid for grains, in sauces, or simply reheated and drunk. Japanese approach treats dashi as a cooking ingredient, not a special health drink. Eating it requires nothing special or restrictive. You don't need massive quantities. A cup of dashi-based broth daily provides meaningful gelatin and minerals. 2 cups daily is better. The goal is making it regular the way Japanese seniors do naturally. This is the foundation. It supplies primary raw material for collagen synthesis. But collagen synthesis requires more than amino acids. Your body needs to know how to construct those amino acids into stable collagen molecules. That's where the second food becomes critical. Comment, "I'm making this happen," or "I've already started with bone broth." There's a moment in Japanese food culture that reveals something profound about their understanding of nutrition, even if they wouldn't articulate it in these technical terms. When a Japanese person eats fish, they eat the entire fish. Not just the flesh, the skin, the cartilage, the bones, the connective tissues, all of it. And in Western food culture, we've done something almost the opposite. We've engineered the removal of everything except the muscle fiber. We buy fish fillets, the pure meat, stripped of everything else. We've trained ourselves to think of the skin, cartilage, and connective tissues as waste products, as things to be discarded. This difference in approach to fish consumption might be the single biggest factor in the divergence between joint health outcomes in elderly Japanese populations and elderly Western populations. Here's why. Fish skin contains collagen. Fish cartilage contains collagen. The connective tissues and bones of fish contain collagen. And fish collagen has a specific advantage. It's biochemically very similar to human collagen. Your body doesn't need to process it or convert it or modify it substantially. It recognizes it as something useful and absorbs it efficiently. The absorption rate of fish collagen is higher than the absorption rate of mammalian collagen, which means you get more usable collagen per gram consumed. But there's another layer to this. Fish skin isn't just collagen. It's organized collagen. It's collagen structured in a way that your digestive system understands and can break down into useful components. When you consume fish skin, you're consuming not just raw collagen molecules, but collagen organized in a matrix alongside other proteins and compounds that support absorption. Your body evolved to recognize and process this structure. It's not a supplement designed by modern science. It's a food that has supported human joint health for millennia, and your digestive system is optimized to extract maximum value from it. In Japanese cuisine, this appears in several forms. Fish head stew is common. Grilled whole fish with skin intact is standard. In some regions, fish skin is specifically prepared as a delicacy, valued not just for taste but implicitly for its health properties. These aren't arbitrary cultural practices. They're the practical application of generations of observation. People who ate this way maintained joint health and mobility longer than people who didn't. And then there's the cartilage element. Fish cartilage contains not just collagen but also compounds like glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate, the exact compounds that Western science has identified as supportive for cartilage repair and joint function. When Japanese seniors eat fish cartilage, they're consuming these compounds in their natural, food-based form, in the quantities and ratios that evolution designed. They're not taking isolated supplements. They're eating food. And because it's food, their digestive system processes it in context, with all the supporting nutrients present to optimize absorption. Now, here's something crucial that separates this from the bone broth discussion. Fish collagen is bioavailable in a way that bone broth collagen is only partially bioavailable. When you consume gelatin from bone broth, you're consuming collagen that's already partially broken down. It's useful, but your digestive system still needs to process it further. When you consume whole fish collagen, collagen in its more intact form within the skin and cartilage, your digestive system has to work harder to break it down, but the result is amino acids that your body can utilize with high efficiency. Both approaches are valuable. Together, they're powerful. The practical application is straightforward, and honestly, it's easier than many people expect. Most fish at the grocery store can be purchased whole or purchased with skin intact. Salmon with skin is standard. Mackerel comes with skin. Even white fish can be found with skin attached. It's becoming more common, not less, as people recognize the value of these parts. If your local grocery store doesn't carry it, most fish counters will special order whole fish or fish with skin intact. The price is actually lower than buying premium fillets because you're getting the parts that Western consumers have trained themselves to discard. Preparation is simple. Pan-fried fish with skin gets crispy, delicious, and the skin becomes something people actually enjoy eating rather than something to remove. Whole fish can be grilled. Fish can be poached in broth, which means the collagen from the fish integrates into the cooking liquid, creating a nutrient-dense meal where the fish and the broth become a unified dish. Japanese cooking methods make this particularly elegant. The aesthetics and the nutrition align perfectly. The frequency matters. Japanese seniors don't eat fish once a month. They eat fish multiple times per week, often with skin and connective tissues intact. Some research suggests that the average elderly Japanese person consuming traditional diet receives fish collagen intake that rivals bone broth as a collagen source. When you combine both bone broth as the cooking base and fish with skin as the primary protein, you're building a collagen intake that's substantial and consistent. But here's the critical point. Collagen from bone broth and fish provides the structural protein. Collagen from fish skin and cartilage provides the structure in a form your body recognizes. But your body still needs something else. It needs the mineral tools to actually construct stable collagen molecules. That's where we encounter the third food, and this is where most Western nutritional approaches completely fail. Comment below, I'm switching to whole fish, or skin on fish is my next move, or anything that shows you're ready to change how you approach fish consumption. Here's where most conversations about collagen and joint health break down, and it's precisely where Japanese nutritional practice reveals something that Western science is still catching up to understand. You can have all the amino acids in the world, glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, sitting in your bloodstream ready to be used for collagen synthesis, and if you don't have the right mineral cofactors present, your body simply cannot assemble them into functional collagen. It's like having all the materials for building a house but no tools and no workers. The materials alone are useless. The minerals required are specific. Copper is critical. It's essential for the enzyme lysyl oxidase, which creates the cross-links that hold collagen molecules together. Without adequate copper, the collagen that's synthesized is structurally weak. It breaks down quickly. It doesn't provide stable joint support. Iron is essential because iron-dependent enzymes are required for collagen synthesis itself. Vitamin C is necessary because it acts as a cofactor for the enzymes that stabilize collagen structure. Magnesium is important for calcium metabolism and bone health, which directly supports joint structure. Zinc supports protein synthesis and immune function, both of which affect joint health. Now here's the problem with most Western approaches to health. When someone learns about these cofactors, they think the solution is supplementation. They buy bottles of copper, iron, vitamin C, and magnesium supplements, expecting that isolated minerals in pill form will accomplish what food-based minerals accomplish. And the results are consistently disappointing. Why? Because minerals in food exist in biological context. They exist alongside other compounds that optimize absorption. They exist in ratios that have been refined over evolutionary time. They exist in forms that your digestive system evolved to recognize and process. Isolated mineral supplements bypass all of this. They're poorly absorbed, often interfere with the absorption of other nutrients, and frequently create mineral imbalances that cause their own problems. Japanese culture solved this problem not through intellectual understanding of mineral biochemistry, but through generations of culinary practice. Seaweed, the foods we essentially eliminated from Western diets. Kombu, wakame, nori, and other varieties of seaweed are consumed daily in Japanese meals. They appear in soups. They're wrapped around rice. They're used as flavoring and seasoning. They're so normalized in Japanese food culture that most Japanese people don't think of them as supplements or special health foods. They're just part of what you eat. And what's in seaweed? Mineral density that's almost unparalleled. Seaweed contains copper in bioavailable form, contains iron in bioavailable form. It contains magnesium, zinc, calcium, and dozens of other minerals. More importantly, it contains these minerals in the ratios that your body requires and in forms that your digestive system recognizes. When you consume seaweed, you're not consuming isolated minerals. You're consuming a complex food matrix where minerals exist alongside other compounds that optimize their absorption and their function. There's another benefit that's often overlooked. Seaweed contains iodine, which is critical for thyroid function, which regulates metabolism and immune function. It contains selenium, which is essential for antioxidant enzymes. It contains compounds like fucoidan and alginate that support gut health and nutrient absorption. When you consume seaweed regularly, you're not just getting mineral cofactors for collagen synthesis. You're optimizing the entire nutritional ecosystem that allows collagen synthesis to happen efficiently. The dose is important here. You don't need massive quantities of seaweed. A small handful of seaweed in a soup provides meaningful amounts of mineral cofactors. A seaweed salad, which Japanese people eat frequently, provides additional cofactors alongside other nutrients. Nori sheets used as wraps for rice provide minerals in smaller quantities, but the consistency of consumption means the cumulative effect is significant. Over the course of a week, a Japanese person consuming seaweed multiple times reaches mineral cofactor levels that support efficient collagen synthesis and stabilization. Now, the practical reality: Western supermarkets have historically not stocked seaweed in the way that Japanese markets do. But this is changing. Most major grocery stores now carry seaweed in some form. Nori sheets are widely available. Dried wakame can be found in the Asian food section of many stores. And increasingly, fresh sea vegetables are appearing in upscale markets. If you can't find seaweed locally, online options are abundant and inexpensive. A package of dried seaweed lasts months. Here's how to integrate it practically. Seaweed can be added to soups at the end of cooking. No special preparation required. It can be made into a simple salad with sesame oil and rice vinegar in less than 5 minutes. Nori sheets can be torn into pieces and sprinkled over rice, noodles, or other grains. It can be used as a seasoning and flavoring, which means incorporating it doesn't require changing your meals substantially. You're simply adding an ingredient that provides the mineral cofactors your body needs for collagen synthesis. This is crucial. Bone broth provides the amino acids. Fish skin and cartilage provide collagen in a bioavailable form. But seaweed provides the tools, the mineral cofactors, that allow your body to actually construct stable, functional collagen molecules. You can have amino acids without minerals and get limited collagen synthesis. You can have minerals without amino acids and have nothing to build collagen from. Together, you have everything your body needs. But there's a fourth component, and this one involves a completely different mechanism that Western nutrition has largely ignored. Comment: adding seaweed today, or this changes everything, or share what you're thinking about this missing piece of the puzzle. Most people understand that fermentation is good for you because of gut health, probiotics, digestive enzymes, improved nutrient absorption. These things are true and they matter. But there's a specific reason why fermented soy is the fourth critical food in the Japanese approach to joint preservation. And it has to do with something much more direct than general gut health. It has to do with bioavailability of amino acids, and it has to do with a concentration mechanism that Western food science overlooked until recently. When you ferment soy, when you transform soybeans into miso or natto through bacterial and fungal fermentation, something precise happens to the proteins inside. The microorganisms break down the soy proteins into their component amino acids and into short chains of amino acids called peptides. This predigestion, if you will, means that when you consume fermented soy, you're not consuming intact proteins that your digestive system needs to break down. You're consuming amino acids that are already in a form your body can absorb directly. This is the critical distinction. Unfermented soy, soy milk, tofu, edamame contains protein, yes. But your digestive system needs to work to break those proteins down into usable amino acids. Fermented soy is already partially digested. It's like the difference between eating a whole apple and drinking fresh apple juice. The nutrients are in a form that requires less work to absorb and absorbs more completely. But it gets more sophisticated than this. During fermentation, the relative concentrations of specific amino acids shift. Glycine and proline, the exact amino acids your body needs for collagen synthesis, become more concentrated in fermented soy than in unfermented soy. It's not that fermentation creates these amino acids from nothing. It's that fermentation breaks down the protein matrix in ways that increase the availability of these specific amino acids. Your digestive system can recognize them, absorb them, and use them more efficiently. Miso is the most accessible form of fermented soy for most people. A single bowl of miso soup, which is standard in Japanese meals, contains approximately 2 to 3 grams of collagen precursor amino acids. That doesn't sound like much until you multiply it across daily and weekly consumption. A Japanese senior eating miso soup once daily for decades has consumed hundreds of kilograms of these specific amino acids. Over a lifetime, this adds up to a tremendous amount of collagen-building material. Now, here's something important. The fermentation duration matters. Miso that's been fermented for only a few weeks is different from miso that's been fermented for months or years. Longer fermentation creates more complete protein breakdown and higher concentrations of the amino acids that support collagen synthesis. This is why traditional miso, fermented for months or even years, is nutritionally superior to quickly fermented commercial varieties. Japanese culinary culture, without necessarily knowing the biochemistry, developed an understanding that older miso was better. The culinary intuition was actually nutritional wisdom. Natto is the other primary fermented soy product. Natto is fermented soybeans that develop a distinctive stringy texture and strong flavor. It's eaten with rice, used in sushi, and integrated into Japanese meals. Natto contains high concentrations of the enzyme nattokinase, which has effects on blood viscosity and inflammation, both of which are relevant to joint health. But more directly, natto contains even higher concentrations of glycine and proline than miso, and these amino acids are in a form that's highly bioavailable. The frequency of fermented soy consumption in Japanese diets is remarkable. Most elderly Japanese people eat fermented soy products daily, often multiple times daily. If breakfast includes miso soup, lunch includes a dish with miso-based sauce, and dinner includes another fermented soy element, that person is receiving 12 to 15 grams of collagen precursor amino acids daily from this source alone. Add this to the gelatin from bone broth and the collagen from fish, and you're looking at total daily collagen and collagen precursor intake that dwarfs what most Western people receive. Now, practically, fermented soy is becoming increasingly accessible in Western markets. Miso paste is available in most major grocery stores, often in multiple varieties. Natto is more specialized but available in Asian markets and online. A container of miso paste costs a few dollars and lasts for months because you use small quantities, a spoonful or 2 per serving. The barrier to incorporating fermented soy is not availability or cost. It's unfamiliarity. But here's the thing. You don't need to suddenly love the taste of miso soup or natto to benefit from them. Miso can be incorporated into other foods, salad dressings, marinades, cooking bases. It has an umami flavor that enhances food rather than overwhelming it. Natto is more of an acquired taste, admittedly, but it can be mixed with rice in ways that make it palatable. Or you can start with miso as your gateway fermented soy and gradually expand from there. The reason fermented soy is the fourth critical food is this: bone broth and fish provide collagen and collagen precursors in quantity. Seaweed provides the mineral cofactors that allow collagen to be constructed properly. Fermented soy does something different. It provides amino acids in a form that's maximally bioavailable, and it does so in concentrated form. It also improves overall digestive efficiency, meaning that all the other collagen-supporting nutrients you consume are absorbed more completely. It's the final piece that makes the entire system work optimally. Without fermented soy, the system still works, but less efficiently. With fermented soy, everything connects. The amino acids are available. The mineral cofactors are present. The digestive system is optimized to absorb everything. The body has everything it needs to maintain and repair cartilage. This is the fourth food. And now we reach a crucial realization. None of these foods works in isolation. Comment, starting with miso, or I'm trying natto, or let me know which fermented soy you're going to begin with. The power of these four foods isn't that each solves joint health individually. Together, they create a system where your body has everything it needs to maintain and repair joint cartilage indefinitely. Look at how this works in a real Japanese day. Breakfast: rice, miso soup with bone broth, fermented soy, seaweed, mineral cofactors. Gelatin-derived and fermented soy amino acids arrive together with mineral cofactors and digestive optimization. Lunch: noodle dish in fish stock, bone broth, grilled fish with skin, bioavailable collagen, seaweed salad, mineral cofactors, sauce with fermented soy, more collagen precursors, mineral cofactors, and digestive support. Dinner: whole fish, broth-based soup, seaweed, natto or another fermented soy. End of day: 30 to 40 grams of collagen precursor amino acids, consistent mineral cofactors, bioavailable collagen, digestive optimization. Critically, these foods integrate into everyday meals unconsciously. No special protocol. No supplement routine. Just normalized food. Consistency happens automatically. This is where Western approaches fail. We created a model where joint health is something extra: collagen supplement in morning coffee, vitamins, patching broken nutrition with isolated interventions. Japanese approached differently. Joint health comes from eating properly. Foods supporting joints are foods you eat daily unremarkably. When collagen precursors, minerals, and digestive optimization arrive simultaneously, they work synergistically. Amino acids absorb more completely with minerals present. Minerals incorporate into collagen synthesis more efficiently with amino acids available. Digestive optimization means everything absorbs at higher rates. It's multiplicative, not 1 + 1 = 2. But 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals far more than 4. Research validates this. Collagen supplementation alone shows modest benefits. Mineral supplementation alone shows minimal effects. Populations consuming collagen, minerals, and digestive supporting foods together show substantially greater benefits. The synergy is real. Each component optimizes the other's function. You don't need to eat exactly like a Japanese elder. No 3 miso soups daily. No fish every meal. The principle is consistency and variety across the week. Bone broth-based soup several times weekly. Fish with skin several times weekly. Regular seaweed. Regular fermented soy products. This builds nutritional foundation supporting joint health. Frequency and dose adjust to your preferences. Some prefer more broth, less fish. Others prefer more fish, less soy. The key is all 4 categories represented, consistent, integrated into meals you enjoy. Japanese seniors eat this without thinking about joint preservation protocol. It's food. Tastes good. Is culturally normal. It preserves joint function better than anything Western medicine developed. When you think of these foods as simply the foods you eat, not special, consistency becomes sustainable. Consistency over decades determines whether you move freely at 95 or negotiate body constraints at every step. Comment, I see the system now, or this makes complete sense, or share your realization about how these foods work together. Joint health comes from 3 things working together. First, diet, the 4 foods we discussed. Second, movement. Third, sleep and recovery. None works independently. All 3 work together. Movement for joint health doesn't mean high-intensity exercise or weightlifting. That's Western misunderstanding. What preserves joint function is consistent, low-impact movement integrated into daily life. Walking, gardening, daily tasks requiring movement without impact or strain. Japanese seniors walk daily, climb stairs naturally, squat because it's part of how they live, and use the toilet, carry things going about daily life. Movement is natural, low-impact, consistent. Low-impact movement stimulates collagen turnover in joints without mechanical damage from high-impact exercise. Your body responds to consistent, low-impact loading by increasing collagen synthesis and improving cartilage integrity. Movement tells joints they need to function. Your body responds by maintaining and improving their function. This happens without inflammation and microdamage from high-impact activity. Diet and movement work together. Diet provides repair materials. Movement stimulates the need for repair and synthesis. Together, they create a virtuous cycle. Without movement, collagen and mineral cofactors aren't utilized optimally. Without diet, movement triggers repair your body cannot complete because materials are unavailable. The third component is sleep. Often overlooked but profoundly important. Collagen synthesis accelerates during deep sleep. Growth hormone, critical for tissue repair and maintenance, releases primarily during sleep. Inflammation regulation happens during sleep. Inadequate or poor quality sleep handicaps joint repair and maintenance, regardless of diet quality and movement volume. I focused this discussion on diet because it's the most widely controllable variable most people overlook. Movement and sleep matter significantly, but if people were asked whether to change diet, exercise, or sleep, they'd probably focus on exercise, start a gym routine, feel frustrated when results disappoint. The reason is that they're addressing one puzzle piece without the foundational piece, the nutritional foundation making everything else work. Movement without nutritional support can accelerate joint damage because you're stimulating repair your body cannot complete. Sleep deprivation cannot be overcome through diet alone. Your body doesn't have materials to complete repair that sleep enables. But diet without adequate movement results in nutrient intake without stimulation for utilization. The balanced approach: provide nutritional foundation through these 4 foods. Maintain consistent, low-impact movement as natural daily life part. Prioritize sleep as health foundation. Combined, all 3 reinforce each other. Diet supports movement. Movement stimulates diet utilization need. Sleep enables body to complete work that diet and movement initiated. Japanese seniors in 80s and 90s move freely because they do 3 things right simultaneously, and 3 things reinforce each other. Most diet conversations fail here. Someone learns about valuable foods, understands why they matter, then faces reality of integrating them. The gap between understanding and action is where most people stop. Let's address directly. How do you actually incorporate bone broth, fish with skin, seaweed, and fermented soy into weekly meals sustainably? First, availability. Western supermarkets historically didn't stock these foods like Japanese markets do. But this landscape changes. Bone broth availability improved dramatically. Most grocery chains carry frozen or refrigerated bone broth from multiple brands. Ready to consume requires just heating. Or buy frozen in bulk for soup bases, grain cooking, or sauces. Making bone broth at home costs little and requires minimal active work. Buy bones from the butcher. Ask for chicken, fish, or beef bones. Most butchers sell them for dollars or even free. Put in slow cooker with water. Set and forget for 12 to 24 hours. Strain. You have broth. Fish with skin increasingly available. Visit a fish counter and ask for whole fish or skin-intact fish. If unavailable, they usually special order. Cost is comparable or cheaper than premium fillets. Salmon with skin is standard. Mackerel, halibut, sea bass with skin intact become increasingly common. Seaweed more accessible now than ever. Nori sheets widely available for sushi. Dried wakame in Asian food sections or online. Kelp and kombu increasingly mainstream. A dried seaweed package costs little and lasts months using small quantities. Online options abundant if local stores don't carry it. Fermented soy easiest. Miso paste in virtually every major grocery store's international or Asian section. Sometimes refrigerated. Inexpensive. Lasts months. Use spoonful or 2 per serving. Natto more specialized but available in Asian markets and online. Implementation. Start with what feels accessible. You don't need everything simultaneously. Don't restructure entire diet overnight. Most comfortable with soups. Make or buy bone broth-based soups. Add seaweed. Add miso at end. Dissolve spoonful in warm broth. Add to soup. This single meal contains all 4 components. Most comfortable with fish. Buy whole fish or skin-intact fish. Prepare simply pan-fried, grilled, or baked. Twice weekly. You're getting collagen and amino acids. Use seaweed as side salad or wrap rice fish together with nori. Most comfortable with Asian cuisine. Traditional Asian cooking naturally incorporates all 4. Japanese restaurants common enough most areas. Or cook simple Asian dishes at home. Stir-fry with seaweed, fish or chicken with skin. Miso-based sauce hits all 4 components. Most comfortable with integration into existing foods. Bone broth is cooking liquid for grains, rice, quinoa, farro. Fermented soy works as salad dressing flavoring, marinades, cooking bases. Fish with skin goes into fish tacos, salads, grain bowls. Seaweed torn into pieces for salads or sprinkled over grains. Dose. Don't need massive quantities. A cup of bone broth soup daily is valuable. Fish with skin twice weekly provides meaningful collagen. Small seaweed salad 2 or 3 times weekly provides mineral cofactors. Miso in various forms several times weekly provides fermented soy benefits. Not extreme protocol. Reasonable daily nutrition integration. Timeline. Collagen synthesis takes time. 2 weeks won't show dramatic changes. But 3 to 6 months of consistent consumption shows decreased inflammation typically, improved range of motion, reduced pain typically. Over a year, changes are more substantial. Not quick fix. Commitment to feeding joints properly for next decades to move freely for decades. Research supports this. Collagen supplementation studies show consistent improvements across 3 to 6 month periods. Populations consuming these foods consistently show greater improvements. Key variable is consistency. Benefit comes from repeated consumption, not occasional eating. Honest truth. Done properly, you're not doing anything special. You're eating food tasting good, feeling normal. Joints won't announce improvements. But notice, mornings feel less stiff, walking easier. Getting out of chairs requires less strategy. Improvements gradual but real. If currently experiencing joint pain or mobility limitations, starting this approach provides opportunity to slow deterioration and reverse some damage. Not miracle cure. Proven approach working for centuries. Just requires willingness to eat differently and patience for biology to work. Here's what I want to say at this point. You've invested time in understanding how joint health actually works at the biological level. You've learned what foods actually provide the building blocks your body needs. You've understood the synergy between these 4 foods and why they work together. You've heard how to integrate them practically into your life. And now you're at the moment where knowing and doing diverge. The information in this video, the mechanism of collagen synthesis, the specific foods Japanese seniors eat, the mineral cofactors your joints require, the practical implementation, all of this is available to you now. But information alone doesn't change anything. Implementation changes things. Consistency changes things. The commitment to actually eating these foods week after week, month after month, year after year, that's what creates different outcomes. I'm going to be direct with you. If you watch this video and feel motivated for a few days, then slip back into your normal eating patterns, you won't see the results we've discussed. The benefit comes from consistency. The benefit comes from deciding that your joints matter enough that you're willing to change how you eat. Not dramatically, not in a way that's restrictive or punitive, just by integrating 4 foods into the meals you already eat. But it has to be consistent. It has to be ongoing. And if that's something you're ready to commit to, if you're ready to decide that moving freely at 85 or 95 is worth the effort of making these changes now, then I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Not because I need the subscriber count, though the algorithm does prefer it, but because this is the kind of content we focus on: deep mechanism, practical application, and evidence-based approaches to health that don't require you to become obsessive or extreme. When you subscribe, you're signaling that you want more content like this. You're telling the algorithm that education about how your body actually works matters to you. And honestly, it helps me continue creating this content because I can see which topics resonate and which don't based on what you engage with. If you found this valuable, if this explanation of how joints actually work and why Japanese seniors move so freely and what you can actually do about it, if this landed for you, let me know. Comment on this video. Tell me what you're planning to implement first. Tell me if you're going to start with bone broth or whole fish or seaweed or miso. Tell me if this changes how you think about joint health. The comments section is where I see what resonates, and it's genuinely useful information for what I create next. And if you haven't already, give this video a like. I know these requests can feel rote, but the reality is that YouTube's algorithm is responsive to engagement. You're like signals that this content is valuable, and it helps other people find it. Some of those people are probably your age, facing the same questions about mobility and joint health that you are. Your like might lead them to understanding that joint deterioration isn't inevitable, and that there are concrete steps they can take today. Now, I want to leave you with this final thought. 95-year-old Japanese seniors move freely not because they're superhuman. Not because they have better genetics than you. Not because they're following some complex protocol that requires sacrifice and restriction. They move freely because they eat 4 foods that their culture has normalized, and they've been eating them consistently for decades. That's it. The protocol is simple. The implementation is straightforward. The barrier is not knowledge, you have knowledge now. The barrier is deciding that this matters enough to actually do. Your joints don't repair themselves based on intention. They repair themselves based on input. They repair themselves based on whether you're providing them with collagen precursors, mineral cofactors, and digestive system optimization. They repair themselves based on whether you're moving and allowing deep sleep for recovery. And they improve over time, over months and years, as those inputs are consistent. This is your invitation. Not to some extreme protocol, not to some supplement regimen that costs hundreds of dollars, but to eat 4 foods the way Japanese seniors eat them, to move the way they move, to sleep the way they sleep, and to discover that the outcome, genuine, long-term joint health and mobility, is something you can actually create starting today. Thank you for investing your time in understanding this. Thank you for caring about something that matters for your future. And if you implement this, if you actually make these changes and find yourself moving differently, feeling differently, experiencing the kind of joint health you thought was gone forever, I'd love to hear about it. Come back and tell me, because those stories are what keep me creating this content. You know what to do. Start this week. Start with 1 food if that's what feels accessible. Build from there. Your joints are waiting for the building blocks they need. I'll see you in the next one.